Strawberry Frappuccinos and a Black Leather Jacket. Chapter 25. Bluebell. Written and narrated by Eleanor Rose. Artwork provided by Marlene Bruus. Adrien looked up at the door chime, hoping Nathaniel walked in. "Chloe!" he said, straightening his back as he put the spray bottle down. She looked rough. More than that, actually. He hadn't seen her in public with messy hair since their third year of elementary school. Before he could ask what's wrong, she plopped onto a bench like a damsel in distress and groaned. "You okay?" he asked, hesitant to move closer. "I can't figure it out." "Huh?" "The theme is progress, and I can't figure it out." "Progress?" "Yeah. I want to make it about metamorphosis, but I'm struggling to put it all together." "Metamorphosis?" He sat down beside her. "I mean, feelings transform all the time, right? And of course I'd want to invoke a moving response, but butterflies are so cliché, you know? I mean, what am I, the klutzy girl next door? No! I'd want something elegant and refined." "Butterflies?" "Yeah, but that's something the girl next door would think of. It's an ideal. People associate them with beauty and grace, but if you took off their wings, college girls would scream at the idea of finding one in their apartment romping around like mutated ants." "So, no butterflies?" "That's just it!" She propped herself up with an elbow. "The design by itself is incredible. I outdid myself with it, really. But your father? Ugh. I've had a complex about that man my whole life, and yet I can't grow out of it. Seriously. Even being the top of my class didn't impress him." "Well, my father..." "So butterflies? Ugh. I could never face him with something like that. But this design is just so, well, smart. It's impressive. I'm impressed. But butterflies? What was I thinking, Adrien? What was I thinking?" He opened his mouth to reply, but knew better. She was on a roll. "I mean, I'm not going to use another insect or animal. Think about it. You don't cocoon and get a rabbit. It would make sense. And the vegans of Instagram would slay me for using rabbit fur in my designs, even if it were faux. Ugh, that and... Chloe?" He touched her wrist. She took a moment to breathe before lighting up again. "I've got it." Her tone was different now. "I've got it. I've got the idea. Thank you, Adrien. Thank you. Mwah!" She pressed a kiss on his cheek and stood up. Adrien chuckled and went to the counter, making the Frappuccino he knew she'd come in for. She'd never go for a full-fat trademark drink like they sell, but he knew how to satisfy her craving with a bit of tweaking when she got stressed. That, and it was more of a smoothie than a frappe. The bell clattered as the blender died down, affirming his suspicions. "Here you go," he said, clipping on the tumbler lid. "You're literally the best, Adrikins. I love you," she said, blowing him a kiss. "Love you too." Nathaniel walked in, cheeks flushed. "Sorry I'm late," he exclaimed. "You owe me a burger," Adrien said, taking off his apron. Had he come a minute earlier, he could have left with Chloe. Oh well, her mind was too preoccupied for his attention anyway. He may as well go to his apartment and take a nap. Or take his bike out for a ride. It was a gorgeous day out, after all, and his black leather jacket needed to get rid of the smell of sweat and poor ventilation from the concert last night. Yeah, a bike ride. That sounded nice. 20 minutes and a double shot of espresso later, Adrien was cruising down the back alleyways. headed out of town. There was too much traffic in the city, so why bother? It was a beautiful day for a bike ride. A mixture of curiosity and the need for a toilet brought Adrien to a tavern outside Paris, wooden and weather-whipped. It was a miracle it was up to health codes, really. The tall ceilings were something to admire, and Adrien could see this as a great venue for musicians a few decades back.
"May I help you?"
He turned around in surprise to see a guy his age, if not a few years older, popping up from behind the bar.
"Hello, sir,"
he said, waving as a reflex.
"There's no need to be so formal. What brings you by?"
"Just stopping for lunch."
"Didn't read the sign outside, did ya?"
"Huh?" Adrien turned in the direction the worker pointed, face falling as he read it wasn't open for another 3 hours. Great. He was that customer.
"Sorry about that. I'll go."
"No worries. I've done the same thing." He moved from behind the bar, carrying an electric guitar.
I've seen that before."
"What, my strings?"
"Are you..."
"No way."
"Jagged Stone's guitarist?"
He laughed and made his way over to the piano.
"I wish. No, I was his opening act last night." "I saw that!"
Adrien exclaimed, not realizing he followed him over until his arm rested atop the piano.
"Luca, right?"
"Yeah."
"I loved your set! It's incredible you got to play with his band!"
"Right?" His smile turned into a grin, revealing dimples.
"I mean, most people wouldn't do that for their openers. Jagged's a really nice guy." "You're on a first-name basis, then?"
Luca laughed as he turned. "Perhaps. We always know people better in our heads than in reality."
"Wow, philosophical. I like it."
He slid onto the piano bench and pressed a chord. "I didn't realize Cat Noir could play."
"I'm sorry. Did I introduce myself?"
"No, but your bike did." Adrien peered through the window at the motorcycle. He'd only done one photo shoot with it, and that was eons ago before the nickname stuck.
"Well, it's not like I'm trying to hide it."
"What's your name?"
"What, you don't want to call me Kitty Cat?"
"Tempting, but I'll refrain."
"Adrien. Adrien Agreste."
"Luca." He offered his hand. "Play with me for a minute?"
"Do you mind?"
"Well, what do you know?" A thump came from the back, catching their attention.
"What was..."
Adrien began. "Sorry. I use this as a rehearsal space in exchange for working here, but one of my friends got hammered after the concert last night. He must have just woken up."
"You went to a raging after-party, I take it?"
"No, actually," Luca said, a smile returning at the thought. "I went on a date, kind of."
"A kind of date? What do you mean, kind of? You're far too attractive for something that ambiguous."
"Oh?"
"Come on, dude. You're so handsome, I'm blushing."
He laughed and shook his head. "I took this girl from the concert venue out for a drink and, well, it just kind of clicked."
"Good for you, man."
"Thanks. I mean, I don't know too much about her, but there's something there, you know? I'm going to visit her bakery tomorrow. I want
wanted to be cool and mysterious, but I've slept on it and I'm still drawn to her.
A bakery?
Yeah, Marinette said.
Marinette?
Adrien began to stand in surprise, but he hit his knees on the underside of the piano. You okay?
Yeah,
Marinette? What were the chances? She didn't say anything about it this morning.
I know her.
Really? Luca lit up. Do you like her? Is she a nice person?
I mean, yeah, as far as I can tell. I like her, and so does my girlfriend, which is saying something.
Ladybug knows her?
Huh?
You're Cat Noir, right? So, you and Ladybug are dating. The confrontation was like a slap to the face.
No, we're not.
His eyebrows shot up. Really? I've read your banter and assumed. Well, never mind. So your girlfriend is a hard one to impress?
You know,
Adrien said, scooting the bench out to stand up.
This place isn't open yet. I'm intruding, so I should get going.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Really, I should go.
His stomach nodded as he tried to swallow the feeling away.
Thanks for the chat. Hope you make up your mind with Marinette.
Hey, thanks, man. Stay dry out there. It looks like it'll rain this afternoon. Adrien couldn't get out of there fast enough. He hopped on his bike, not bothering to secure his helmet until the tavern was out of sight. What was this feeling? It was like he needed to puke. Ugh. He said he was okay with the misunderstanding of Ladybug Chloe, but maybe he wasn't. It felt like Luca ripped the rug out from under him on that one. Except, as the trees littered past, it clearly wasn't. He started getting uncomfortable when Luca mentioned going on a date with Marinette. Deep down, Adrien knew why that bothered him. She reminded him of a crush he had in high school. He never caught her name, but he had a thing for the girl with bluebell eyes. He'd since pushed her out of his heart, of course, but maybe something was still there. Truth be told, he'd forgotten about it until Marinette started frequenting his store. She wasn't his old crush, obviously, but there was something about her that entranced... No, Adrien, you're wrong. Don't entertain the idea. He pushed the thought to the back of his mind, sealing it under layers of childhood aspirations and strawberry shortcakes. He was happy now. He was happy, and he wasn't going to risk that happiness over a seed of jealousy for what could have been. Close your eyes and drive away. He'd be fine. Chloe would be fine. They'd be fine. This feeling was fleeting, just like the wind on his back. Thank you for listening. This series is supported by contributions from my Patrons. You can find out more information at patreon.com/MiraWrites. I'll catch you guys next week.